A Mother's Life. Author, Agamora, Crossdress. Small World. Final part. Does the truth have to hurt? Leaving the bad news aside for now, after all, the time when I decided to reveal the truth was still more than 2 days away. During this time, I will save the most precious memories with my daughter in my subconscious. Because these may be the last good memories. Watching the sea done, we went to the hotel to check in pre-booked. This is a hotel building that is not too big, but the advantage is that the hotel's face is facing the sea. The interior decoration is also very comfortable and modern. Honestly, for the two of us, that was more than enough. We absolutely love this hotel. We booked a room with a double bed, of course. I remember saying that my daughter still prefers to share a bed with me than to separate her room. This is lucky for me. At this age, our children often tend to be independent and separate from their parents. It was said that the trip lasted 3 days, but in fact, including the travel time, it took half a day. Looking at the current clock, it was past 11 a.m. We packed our backpacks and bags into the room and locked the door to go down to the hotel's restaurant. During the travel period, the buffet at the hotel canteen is completely free. The cost is already included in the package from the time of booking. When we went down to the restaurant, it was already packed with people. We are not too picky when it comes to eating, so we quickly chose the right portion for us. Sitting at the dining table for a while, I suddenly felt as if there were eyes on us. I am sure my feeling is not wrong, because I have experienced this feeling before. If I have a chance, I will tell this story at another time. But unlike the previous feeling, this time's gaze did not make me feel uncomfortable. I thought to myself, maybe my daughter has a man who is paying attention. Indeed, when we finished eating, we went back to our room when a guy came to talk to us. He is about 30 years old, has a bright, easy-to-see face. He greeted us politely but a bit rigid. "Hello, two ladies. Pardon my sudden rush." I said, hello. Just be natural, there's no need to be so rigid." He replied, "Excuse me. I have just returned home to travel after a long period of settlement abroad. My name is Tom." From the next table, I was accidentally captivated by the beauty of you two. "Can I ask to get to know you two?" I guess it's not wrong, it seems that guy has noticed my daughter. I playfully replied, "Aha, so you've been charmed by my sister, aren't you?" My daughter struggled. "Mom. What are you talking? Is it mother and daughter, not sisters?" He was bewildered for a moment and then continued, "Sorry again, because you look so young." I smiled and replied, "No problem. So do you need me to make space for the two of you?" Tom looked at me and said, "You two are very beautiful. But I'm shy, the one I want to get to know is you." While smiling, my smile suddenly faltered. "What?" I asked again while still not understanding the current situation. My daughter suddenly burst out laughing. "Ha ha, you just got attention. So do you need me to make space for the two of you?" I glared lightly. She stuck out her tongue playfully at me. In fact, since I became a woman, there have been many times when I have been noticed by other men. But later on, not often anymore because I am more old and have a daughter. "Sorry, you see, I already have a daughter." I told Dom. It's okay, meeting must be fate, let's make friends. Anyway, I haven't been a native here for a long time. I hope you two will help me during this time of travel. Tom very comfortably replied. Maybe he realized he still had a chance when he saw me traveling with my daughter without a husband. But unfortunately, he must be disappointed, because the person he was interested in was not even a woman. "Very well then, nice to meet you," I replied. After eating we went back to our room. Coincidentally, The next room belonged to the guy Tom we met earlier. He was also quite surprised by this coincidence. We greeted each other and then went to our respective rooms. We decided to rest at the room after a long time traveling in the coach bus before swimming in the sea. Although we were only in the room, it was not boring for us. My relationship with my daughter is very good, so we have many stories to talk about. A peaceful day passed. The next morning, we got up early to exercise and went to the beach. Having said that, wearing a bikini is quite a risky move for me, because if not clever, what needs to be hidden will be revealed. But because I want to enjoy a full summer with my daughter, I also defy this. Obviously, I wouldn't be foolish to choose revealing two-piece bikinis that reveal both top and bottom. I chose a black one-piece bikini with colorful patterns. This is a bikini in general quite discreet but still sexy in the open back and deep neck. But that's okay, as long as my chest and bottom are not exposed. Meanwhile, my daughter chose a red two-piece bikini, which is simple, but just needs to be beautiful. We swim together and play many fun beach games together. At noon, we decided to go ashore and lay out on a bench to enjoy the shade under the trees and eat seafood right at the beach area. At this time, we happened to meet Tom, who was also renting a nearby shed. He seemed quite happy to see us. That afternoon, our morning games resumed at the beach, mostly water polo, but this time with the addition of a new friend. Everything was fine until the ball reached Tom's position, but it was a bit out of his reach. Not accepting defeat, Tom still tried to step back to reach for the ball. Unknowingly he lost his momentum and fell on me. We had inadvertently made physical contact with each other. In that moment, Twan's cheeks was as red as a jackfruit. I thought to myself, that's it, this guy is over. Why would you fall in love with a man like me? My daughter saw this from afar and ran to us. Tom was still standing there, with a hot face. I cleared my throat softly to dispel this awkward situation. He said goodbye to us and walked towards the hotel. My daughter laughed and said, "He's falling in love you more and more." I show a reprimanding face, "Don't talk nonsense. It's late, let's go back to the hotel to eat and sleep." That night, everything passed peacefully. We still haven't seen Tom again after the afternoon situation. Thus, we only have one more morning in this earthly paradise, before returning to busy life. On the last morning, my daughter temporarily separated to shop for souvenirs. I wasn't too interested in that, so I stayed at the hotel to collect belongings of us, because at noon we had to get in the coach bus back to the city. After getting ready, I planned to go out for a walk. Just out of the door, I caught Tom waiting at the door of his room. He came up to me and asked, "Looks like you've returned to the city today, haven't you?" I asked again, how about you?" Tom replied, "Today I am also preparing to go to the airport to return abroad. Would you like to have a coffee and chat?" Anyway, I wasn't sure where to go, so I nodded in agreement. At the coffee shop near the hotel, Tom asked me many things about the life of us. I also did not hesitate to answer his questions, from the fact that I do not have a husband, just a single mother, to why I have this trip. We talked like that until almost noon. Twan realized he needed to end this conversation. He asked me, "Hey you. You probably already know that, from the first time I saw you, I had a crush on you. I thought it was just a fleeting affection, but since I accidentally made physical contact with you, I realize that I really love you. I know you are married, but now that your husband is gone, is there any chance for me? I can accept anything." I replied, "Sorry Tom, there are things you don't know about me. Thank you very much for your love for me, but I cannot return your kindness. You're a nice guy who deserves a better girl than me. Right now I just want to spend the rest of my life living the life of a mother." After listening, Tom thought for a moment, he smiled and said, "Yes. Thank you for giving me your answer. I feel more comfortable now. There are things in this life that sometimes don't happen the way we want. But I'm not the kind of person who is stubborn enough to influence others. I can only give my best wishes to you too. Goodbye and hope we will meet again one day soon." Finally, he said goodbye to me and walked away very decisively. I really respect guys like him. I wish him to meet the true love of his life. The clock chimed 12 o'clock, it was time for us to go home. I returned to the hotel to meet my daughter and carry my luggage to the coach bus. Fortunately, I have not wasted more than 2 days traveling with my daughter, because it was a trip that left me with many memories. I believe my daughter does too. When we got home, she knew the truth. After a few hours in the coach bus, we also arrived home. Having packed all my things, I was about to call her into the living room and tell her the whole truth. But what surprised me was that she took the initiative to call me out first to talk. She said to me, "A while ago when I was shopping, I happened to pass a coffee shop and heard it all. I don't mind having another father, as long as Mom is happy. You've worked so hard for me all these years." My face tensed for a moment, and I replied, "I can't have another man, and you won't have another father. There are things that I have always kept hidden from you for a long time and dare not speak out for fear of causing psychological shock to you. But now I will tell you the truth. No matter how you react to this, remember one thing, I will always love you." My daughter asked, "What's the matter, Mom?" "Actually, you haven't lost your father in a long time. The person that the old accident forever robbed is your mother. I am the biological father of you. I gave up my life to live the life of a mother because I didn't want my child to grow up without a divine motherhood. At the same time, I play the role of your mother because I want my dead wife to live forever in my heart." I trembled when I told my daughter the truth. To prevent my daughter don't believe me, I even unbuttoned my shirt and skirt to reveal my lingerie that could easily see my flat chest and protruding flesh. I prepared mentally for my daughter to let go of her anger. Unexpectedly, my daughter did not show any special emotions. She said, "Ah, I already knew you are not my biological mother a long time. I know you are male, too. Although you hide it very carefully, my intuition is still very sharp. I don't know who you really are, but I don't care about that either. I only know one thing, you are always my mother, the one who is always with me, taking care of me. I just want to repeat what you said earlier, please remember one thing, no matter what, I will always love you." I was surprised for a moment. This was followed by an intense emotional bombshell, causing tears to flow down both eyelids. I hugged my daughter tightly and said, "Thank you for accepting me. I love you so much." My daughter giggled, "It's really nice, isn't it, considering that I have both a father and a mother, and especially both of them love me very much." In that moment, I swore that I would always protect her for the rest of my life. I vowed to live the mother's life to the fullest. Today's story would like to stop here. Thank you for watching. Please like and share for people with similar interests to motivate me to develop my channel. Goodbye and see you in another story.